Two Casual MMA podcast, the podcast for the casuals for... Hey, I've muffed it again. The podcast for the casuals from Two Casuals.
That's it.
There it is.
Yeah. You got it.
Kenny,
got it.
how are you, mate?
Mate, I'm having what a morning. What a great morning.
Oh, mate, it was killer, mate. It was a killer morning. We'll touch on that shortly. But, mate, I want to touch on something just quickly first. A lot of people don't know this, but you have actually been training in Muay Thai for quite a long time now, and you have an upcoming fight coming up on July the 13th. Tell us a bit more about it, mate. I'm very excited for this.
So am I. I'm excited. It's my second fight, July the 13th. My second Muay Thai fight. Hopefully I get a win this one. Just amateur, but yeah, so training very hard, losing weight. It's tough gig, but the fight's fun. So what training camp is hell.
What was your starting weight?
I started this camp at 85, and I'm fighting at 75. So
what are you currently?
Yeah. It's a secret.
Oh, all right. He's not letting the cat out of the bag. All right, no dramas. That's all right. Do you know who your opponent is now?
Yeah. I've been matched up for a while. We've been matched up for a while. So he's had 2 fights. I've had 1 fight. So we both lost all our fights. So should be someone's winning. Someone's getting their first win. Hopefully.
And he's about to lose another one. What's his name? No, don't tell him. That's all good. Yeah. He's about to, mate. I'll tell you what. You're looking very trim. That jawline is looking razor sharp.
Yeah, I can have a shave now because I've lost my second chin, so I can actually have a shave now and not hide the chin. So yeah, I've still got a few kgs to go. So I'll be looking quite skinny at the weigh-ins. But yeah,
fuck, mate, you might look shredded at the weigh-ins.
Maybe you might see an apple too. Who knows?
Let's go. Fuck,
I'm very excited. 2 more hard weeks of training. 2 more hard weeks of training, and then we're on.
And then it's on. Yeah, that's epic, mate. Very excited. Is the fight in Perth?
Yeah, it's down in Perth. Yeah. So fly down there the weekend and have a fight, and then come home.
And just one last thing before we go. What is it? Is it 3 2-minute rounds?
Yep, 3 2-minute rounds. Yep. Amateur Muay Thai.
That's epic. Let's get it. Can we watch it if we want to watch it anywhere?
I don't think so. They don't fight. They don't stream this fight night, which is unfortunate. But
bummer.
I kind of like it. Because then there's like no footage of my fights out there.
Oh, I want to see it. I want to see it though. I'll
send you videos if I win.
Yeah, I want to see it, mate. But mate, listen. This is breaking news. I just saw this on Facebook. Breaking news for UFC 305 in Perth. Jairzinho Rosenstrike versus Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah, Ty. There was I think it was in one of AP's video. Ty let it slip. He was talking to AP's coach, and he said in August versus Rosenstrike, which is a good fight for Ty. It's not a wrestler, but
yeah,
it's heavyweight's a crazy division as we've seen today as well in the co-main event. So anything can happen, I reckon.
I like the matchup because I don't like anybody threatening the takedown on Ty, which is very unfortunate considering his last fight against Marcin Tybura. We know that as well. That all ended, but at the same time, Rosenstrike's no joke either. Like this isn't a Greg Hardy. This is a legitimate heavyweight with big punching power and plenty of talent. And I like the matchup. I like the fact that he's fighting in Australia. Come on, come on. Let's just do the shoeies and just knock this prick out.
Fighting in Australia versus Striker, it's all teed up for him. He's got to capitalize. Let's go, Ty. Let's go, Bam Bam.
We're talking about this. I think it's must win for Ty. This one.
Yeah, it has to be. I think he'll still have he'll still be around the UFC for a while, but he doesn't want if he wants to still be taken seriously, he needs to show up and show that he's still competitive in that heavyweight division.
Yeah, I think even if he's fighting legitimate heavyweights, ranked guys, he still can't afford being the name he is, because he is a big name in the heavyweight division.
Yep,
he can't afford taking losses.
No, he needs to get some wins. Needs to get back on track. Make it exciting again. He was so close to beating Cyril. He can get there. He can do it.
Yeah, I know. He's on the cusp of fighting John Jones.
That's crazy. Just needs to avoid wrestlers.
It's wild, mate. Absolutely wild. But mate, I'll tell you someone who's not on the cusp of anything, who's still on the straight and narrows, just the trains keep on rolling. I'm talking about the Reaper train, baby. The Reaper. He's back.
Bobby Knuckles. He's never gone. Never gone.
No, but I'm talking first knockout win in 8 years.
8 years. I don't care if it wasn't an unranked opponent. It wasn't his fault.
No. I don't give a shit either. I don't care.
And it done in like 2 minutes, something like that.
Not even minute 40 something. I think
so
it was
good, so good to see a finish by Rob. Because he's been close recently as well. He had Cannonier hurt, like trying to get them out, but he could never get those finishes. So it's very exciting to see him get a finish and cement himself as the top guy in that middleweight division.
Put some respect on his name, by the way. Minute 49 into round one.
Easy work.
Come get it. And do you know what's wild? Like prior to this, like this Ikram Alaskarov, I didn't know too much about him leading up to it, but every man and his dog was saying this guy could be more of a dangerous matchup to Rob than Khamzat Chimaev.
I think they're trying to play, like just trying to make that matchup hype it up a bit more. I don't think that was the case, but it was still a scary fight. A lot of risk for Rob, like kind of like all risk, no reward. Because if he lost to an unranked opponent, like what does he go? Where does he go from there? So he made a statement, showed who he was, and proved to everyone that he is the baddest man in that division.
Mate, throughout the week leading up, I've been thinking a lot about Rob, like in multiple ways. A lot of it in the bathroom, in the toilet. I love that weight cut. Beautiful. No, but like I've been just thinking about different things and like how he's to be defined and like where does he rank in all-time great middleweights and is he a Hall of Famer and this and that because him taking this fight against Alaskarov, he has absolutely he's skyrocketed even further for me because he had absolutely nothing to gain from this at all. Nothing. Zero. You talk about Dustin Poirier fighting Benoit Saint Denis, who's a ranked lightweight at the time, ranked 12. Alaskarov, not even ranked top 50, but Rob still took the fight. And I think it just shows that like he needs multiple wheelbarrows to cart around his testicles.
It's kind of like I think Strickland did it last year or the year before versus that other Russian dude that was not ranked and he got a title shot. Got a title shot after it. So it's kind of reminiscent of that. Like so that it's all lining up for that fight. So let's see it in Perth.
I made Boston cry this morning.
Oh no, yelling.
Yeah, because I got really amped. So those that don't know, I got he's nearly 1 year old actually. In 2 weeks' time, he's one. It's wild. He was up in the middle, so I watched it on delay. I didn't look at my phone when I woke up. I was like, I'm gonna go straight and KO. I went straight to the co-main event. So I was like, yeah, let's go. But I watched it and I said to my partner previous to this, I said, I just hope. Like I actually said this, I was like, I just hope Rob gets a knockout win. Like, please, just one time. And one time, I'm sick of these decision wins. Come on. And when he landed that uppercut, oh my God, I left out of the lounge. I was like, yeah. And then next minute, like the little fella's like crying. He's like, shit, what's going on? So plenty more of that to come from him. But mate, honestly, that was Bobby Knuckles at his best. That was good.
It was about 5 a.m. WA time. I may have waken up the neighbours. I did do a bit of yelling. So I didn't have no babies to frighten, to scare, but yeah, I did my own part in yelling and celebrating that one.
What do you think about Rob coming out and saying that he is the most dangerous middleweight in the division?
He's been saying it for a while. He's starting to prove it. He's got to get those finishes to prove it.
Mate, I've been saying for a long time, Robert Whittaker is the most skilled middleweight, I think in the world.
Most overall skilled, yeah. Like, yeah, I would
he
agree.
is.
He's very good. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Yeah, he's very good. He doesn't show off his wrestling as much like lately, but he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's got a Jiu-Jitsu gym himself, so yeah, very, very well rounded. I think he was meant to compete in the Commonwealth Games when they were on the Gold Coast in wrestling. Like he qualified for it, but the UFC didn't let him or something, or he got sick.
Yeah.
because he got sick or something like that. But so he's very well-rounded martial artist and probably the best in that middleweight.
Because I think sometimes, he said himself that, when he fought Dricus, prior to Dricus winning the title against Sean Strickland, he said that he didn't show up that night. It's like he just didn't, not that he didn't want to be there, but he just knows that he didn't show up.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes with Rob, sometimes he can either be fully there or there, but sort of not at the same time. But I feel like when he is on, I don't care about Israel Adesanya. I don't care about Dricus. I don't think there's any middleweight that can touch him when he's on.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that he's looking so good because it's his first time he's sort of backed up that quick in a long time. He's been having payoffs, like maybe not like some through his own fault, pulling out of fights, and others pulling out of fights. So it's a quick turnaround for him. Hopefully we see more of that. Hopefully we get some like consistent fights from him, like 2 to 3 a year.
I said that as well. I was actually looking that up just prior to the podcast.
Yeah.
So he's so pretty well in a span of under 2 years, he's had 4 fights.
That's good.
So since July 8, 2023, that was when he last fought Dricus, which was last year. He's had 3 fights. He's had 3 fights in under a year.
That's perfect.
That's great because a lot of the times, like, a lot of people could have got up Rob for his inactivity and pulling out and this and that. And I think that's part of the reason why I was thinking a lot about like just Rob as a whole this week. And it's part of the reason why I was like, man, I'd love to do like a full, like pretty well a podcast surrounding all things Rob Whittaker. And what a time to do it, considering that after that win, after taking the fight with absolutely nothing to gain from it, nothing. Like I think he had it all to lose and nothing to gain, because I think he's in the same spot now as what he was anyway. I think the matchup with Sean Strickland is next.
There's no clear contender in regards to Rob and Strickland. So there's no clear number one. I think the only one that would have become clear number one was Hamzat if he beat Rob. So I think now it's between Rob and Strickland, and there's no better place to match them up than 305.
Perth, Western Australia.
Let's do it.
Mate, prior to, like, before Hamzat pulled out, I was probably about 55-45 to Hamzat. But it's so silly because it was only 90 seconds. But seeing what I saw, I don't know if Hamzat beats Rob.
Yeah, I was always confident. I'm always very nervous when Rob's fights, and always very like, fuck, he's going to lose type. But Rob is. I don't think Rob was losing to Hamzat. I think Hamzat. It's kind of been. I think Hamzat's very good, but he can barely make it to fights these days. So he's 30 now. He hasn't fought in a very long time. He doesn't fight often. So I was confident that Rob get the job done against Hamzat.
So we can almost guarantee that next is Sean Strickland. There's no one else. You can't rebook the Hamzat fight, because you can't book a fight with Hamzat against someone that's as beloved and as high up in the rankings as Robert Whittaker, because you can't trust Hamzat to be there come fight night.
No, you can't. I think they try and book the Costa fight for Hamzat again. That's probably the fight that makes sense now. But I wouldn't be excited if they booked Rob and Hamzat again. That Rob and Strickland fight makes all the sense in the world now.
Do you think there's every chance they book it for 305 in Perth?
It makes a lot of sense. I think that probably it's still 6 weeks away or something. So Rob can obviously definitely back up. He's fought for 90 seconds. Sean Strickland's had enough time since his last fight. So I guess it's just a matter of Strickland will come down here again. It's probably a bit different now. He's not champion. So whether the UFC can convince him to travel all the way down here, pay the taxes and stuff that he would have to pay fighting in Australia. I think it's more than Vegas. So I think if they can convince Strickland to do it, I think it can be done.
I think it's a hell of a matchup too. Yeah. I with both of them, with their fight styles, I think both of them are awkward as fuck. It's a very the pair of them. It's weird, man.
It's a very interesting stylistic matchup. Like
It's
Rob blitzes and Sean moves forward the entire time. So
yeah,
yeah, it's
and Sean's just so straight and just jab, straight, gets the knee up. Like it's just a weird old fight, but I'm here for it. I didn't think that I'd be as intrigued in a matchup between Robert Whittaker and Sean Strickland as I am right now, because that's an intriguing matchup.
If they book it for 305, it'll be unbelievable. I cannot wait for that.
Be all time. P.S. Yeah. I'm still on the Rob train here because
let's stay on the Rob train. I'm happy about that.
Prior to this Askarov fight, people like would have probably said that, you can't really place Rob in that, in that category of, fight anywhere, anytime, because of, there's been times where, he's had an injury and he's pulled out, and he's had a couple of, like, a year layoff, and you couldn't put him in that anytime, anywhere mentality, even though he's fought murderers row of that middleweight division. He's fought everybody. So in a sense, I've always thought he doesn't give a shit who he fights. He'll fight them all. He doesn't care. But this one hits differently for me, because he it's pretty hard preparing for somebody who still is seen as a boogeyman of sorts. And then he pulls out, and then you've got somebody that pretty well you can't even really prepare for. And Rob even said it himself in the fight. He was pretty well just going off the cuff.
Yep, and he said prior to Hamzat pulling out, he didn't even know who Ikram was. Like, how do you prepare for someone? You watch a few videos over a few days. There's no preparing or training for that really you can do. So yeah, like they tested him. He got through it. Like he said, he just fights everyone. All those killers at middleweight he's fought.
Yep.
And he beats them for the most part.
Yep. I think it's about time that, like, there's a bit of extra respect put on Rob's name, because if you're here respecting Dustin Poirier, being like, oh, you're a blood and guts fighter, and you've fought everybody, and you've done this and done. I don't think Rob gets the respect that DP does. I think Rob is more likable than Dustin, but I think in regards to respect in the wider MMA community, I think Dustin Poirier has the more respect than Rob does. But I think it's about time that we put some respect on the Reaper's name.
Has to. Maybe because Dustin's had, like, the Conor fights, and he's an American and stuff. Maybe that plays into it. But
yeah, good call.
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, like, Rob has also fought one of the biggest superstars in UFC history as well, in Izzy twice. So there's that there. But man, he's just grown in leaps and bounds, and I can't not respect him, because he has been to the pinnacle of the sport. He has had the belt. He's been down and up like this.
Yeah.
Like for the majority of his career, and he's still wanting to get better, and he's still trying to get better, and he is getting better, and he's still hungry for the belt. And how can you not respect that, man?
It's crazy. When did he lose the belt? 2018. Like, and he's still at the top of the division. Was it even earlier than that?
Not 19. 19 lost to Izzy. Yeah,
5 years, and he's still like at the top of that division, and could take it. It could take it at any moment. So I'd like to know the stat on what's the biggest, like, gap between a fighter winning the belt back. I'm sure it's no longer than a few years. Like, so if he could get that title back, and, like, after such a big gap from losing it would be unbelievable.
I agree, man. I think, like, because I'm just looking at his record now, and since he lost to Stephen Thompson in 2014, this is 11 years ago. So this is. Yeah, so I don't even see that. Like, I see that as like a loss on his record, but that's not the Rob Whittaker that we know.
Nah, since he moved to middleweight, just become an absolute killer.
Yeah, and since then, like, it's weird that I'm comparing him and Dustin Poirier right now, because I don't know, just I see DP as that guy where people are like, oh, he's fought everyone. Oh, like, he doesn't care who he fights. Oh, he's blood and guts fighter. But if you look at Rob's record, he's beaten everyone. Like, seriously, like, he's beaten Derek Brunson, Jacare, Yol twice.
Yeah.
Darren Till, Jared Cannonier, Kelvin Gastelum, Marvin Vittori, Paul Acosta, and now Alaskarov, who, again, he didn't have to fight this guy. The only two people he's lost to in that time have been the champions of the division.
Yeah. He's only lost to the champs. So, yeah, I think he makes it look easy against Strickland, and then gets that title back.
I like his chances against both of them. Both Dricus or Izzy.
Yeah.
I like his chances. And here's another thing too. I like Sean's chances.
Yeah, he arguably won the second fight against Izzy. And Strickland arguably won the first fight against Dricus. So I think that the belt could go to any four of them at any moment. So it's such a good division.
It's epic, man. I love it, mate. And mate, I want to ask you a question. Purely, this is just for you to answer, mate. You've been a Rob Whittaker fan since the days of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
And I want you to give me, off the top of your head, the three moments that define, or the three parts of his career that define Robert the Reaper Whittaker.
Number one for me that I always go back to is the Brunson knockout in Melbourne.
How good is it?
I remember where I was when I watched it. I was in Tweed Heads in a pub there.
Yeah.
I was there. I think that's number one for me. Number two is winning the title. Like I know he didn't win undisputed. He was given to it, but like the middleweight division was all over the shop at that point. So I mean, becoming UFC champ is definitely up there. And I think today's number three today. I think he solidifies. He solidifies that he is Robert Whittaker. He is the most dangerous guy in the division. Who's more dangerous than him in the division? What, Strickland, who has sparring matches? Izzy can be dangerous for sure. Like when he turns up.
Well, Dricus, who just puts forward pressure on people.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, no. So yeah, he solidifies that he is the most dangerous guy in the division. He's an absolute Hall of Famer. He's like an absolute legend. Like he is the GOAT of Australian MMA. Like there's nobody better. I think he's up there with Volk. I think he's up there. He's just been around a lot longer. Been at the top a lot longer.
Do you want to know something, mate? I think there's a legitimate argument that if you put all of it together, like including likability and how long you've done it, there is a legitimate argument that Robert Whittaker might be headlining the Mount Rushmore of Australian MMA. I agree.
I think he might edge it just because he's like longevity, and I think he takes it. If he wins the belt back, I think he takes it. Takes it clean. So
fuck. I can't help but say, like, I think that like part of the defining moment of his career is when he beat Yoel the first time, and just like he had that horrendous knee injury, came back from 2 rounds down, won the fight. It was stupid. At that point in time, I was like, damn, like this man encapsulates the Australian spirit, and I think like when all's said and done, I think you can look back on Rob Whittaker's career and say, like, you know, he absolutely encapsulates the Australian spirit just as good as any sportsman in the history of Australian sport.
And then backed it up and did another 5 rounds against UL.
Fight of the year 2008. Yeah. That's another big one, mate. That was big. But you know what? You saying that today's win against Alaskarov, I think I've said his last name 6 different times in this podcast.
Yeah. No, I'm avoiding saying it. I'll let you say it.
I think it's like, I know the guy's unranked and he's sort of unknown, but not having a knockout win 8 years and he's fought the best of the best. This is big for Rob. Like this is big. This could be right up there in regards to like all-time moments for him.
Yeah, I think it is. I think like it's his first like stoppage in 8 years, and just solidifies himself as one of the best guys right up there.
He's the GOAT, mate. I love him, and him and Strickland's going to be one hell of a ticket. It's going to be one hell of a fight, and I don't know how the hell that fight goes because their styles are awkward as hell, man. Awkward, so awkward. But when it happens, we'll wait and see. But mate, there's 2 other things I want to talk about today, and I want to talk about Volkov versus Pavlovich.
Yeah.
Mate, just real quickly, what do you think about that? I had Pav winning that fight leading up to the fight, but mate, I was really impressed with Volkov today. I thought his length just was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like the heavyweight division is just so turbulent, right? 2 fights ago, Pav was tipped to be this monster that's not going to lose, right? Like he was going to take the belt. He's going to beat John. Now he's lost 2 on the skid, and it's like, well, where's he go to next? Like, is he fighting Ty next? Like, it's
a rematch.
Yeah, but yeah, he like Volkov looked great. He fought exactly how he had to fight.
Yeah,
Pav was always there. It was kind of like there was always that essence of what happened with Volkov against Derek Lewis. Like there was always a chance.
Yeah, man. I agree.
A chance that he could go down. He looked a bit like not wobbly, but like unstable there when those big shots were coming in. Like he was looking away and stuff. So I think it was always like it could have ended at any moment, but he did very well to make it his fight. I think in the 3rd round he got a bit carried away a little bit, and Corner yelled at him to continue fighting how he'd been fighting. So it was an interesting fight, and yeah, saying like Pav was probably the favorite. He should probably, like, everyone had him. So it's just that heavyweight division, mate. You just never know what's happening.
Doesn't it change so quick? You touched on that so well there, because like 2 fights ago, Pav was seen as like the Hulk of the Avengers. Like, oh yeah, no one's going to stop this freight train, because like he was touching blokes and they'd be out cold. But obviously fighting Tom Aspinall, that was a big loss and whatever. But I thought that I still think he is top tier in the heavyweight division, though. I still think he is as tough as they come, and he has like legit dynamite in his hands. But I just think, wow, I was very surprised that Pav couldn't get inside as much as he wanted to. Volkov was just all that pressure, the length, man. I think it was just so much to deal with. That's where I think like you need to be able to mix it up with Volkov that a little bit better. You need to impose the wrestling and the clinch, and just rather than just try and strike with him. And it just shows, man, like this heavyweight division is so, you're right, it is so turbulent, because now losing 2 in a row and losing 2 fights against people who are renowned, highly touted fighters, Pav goes into his next fight and it's like, oh, okay, like he's fighting whoever, like, who cares?
He has to win if he wants to stay that.
Isn't it crazy? But, mate, do you think what do you think's next for Volkov? Do you think a potential title shot next, or do you think maybe fights the loser of Aspinall and Blades?
Yeah, that probably sounds like the most, like, the best route is the loser of that fight, because the title shot, who knows what's happening at the top of the heavyweight division?
Yeah,
if like John and Stipe, I don't think they really count as being part of the heavyweight division at the moment. They're kind of their own division. Aspinall is the top of the heavyweight division, and so and Volkov is right there now. So yeah, he probably fights the loser of that fight, I think.
I think we'll probably touch on this later on, like really later on. But I think this John and Stipe fight is just a retirement fight. I kind of see, this fight at 304 in England between Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blades as like the winner is the heavyweight champion.
And there probably will be. Like, if John wins, I don't think he fights either of them.
What's the point?
Yeah, like
there's no point.
Don't think he fights, and obviously if Stipe wins, he probably retires on top. So yeah, this is, whoever wins this fight at 304 is probably going to be made the undisputed champion, or crowned the undisputed champion eventually.
I agree. Similar to when similar to how Rob happened with Rob as well when GSP retired.
Yeah,
same sort of deal, mate. The last thing I want to touch on is I'm a little bit pissed off with Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah,
bro, make the fucking weight. Like, there's none of this like midweek shit where you're like, I can't make the weight, let's do it at this weight. You agreed to fight at a particular weight. Make the damn weight. I think it is completely unprofessional. I've been a fan of Kelvin Gastelum for a little while. I felt sorry for Daniel Rodriguez losing that fight today. And I think like it just like the importance of weight cutting, man. Like, it's enough to throw you out.
Yeah, and it's one thing if it's like your first time, like, but he's notorious for it now. Like he had to go to 185 because he couldn't make 170, and then he went.
Yeah.
I think he made 170 for one fight, and now back to this. Now missing weight, and
Come on, mate.
His fight speech was, I didn't like that. Like saying he's like sucking up to the UFC because he missed weight. Like just I don't like it at all. I don't think
it's a bad look. Bad look for Kelvin.
I don't think he gets any like exciting fights, or I think they match him up with unknown hungry contenders, and I don't think the UFC had too happy with him, as they shouldn't be.
I agree. I think I think going into this fight, I think he would have known that this cut to welterweight is going to be horrendous. It's going to be a horrific cut. And I just think you have to make a decision and stick to 185. And if you want to fight, stick there, because you can't fuck around another fighter. You can't just be like, oh, hey, we're making 170, and then next minute go, oh, by the way, Dan, if you weight cutting, just stop doing that now. Like, let's go up or what? Like, that's fucking weak out. Like, come on, Kelvin, you've been around that long. You should know better.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't like it at all. He should know better. He's been around long enough, but he's also missed weight a lot, so he's kind of known for it. He just can't stay away from that Mexican food.
Loves the KFC, mate.
Yeah,
loves the KFC, but
I can't wait for the KFC. Don't talk to me about KFC.
It's funny, mate, because heading into the fight, I was actually going for Dan Rodriguez. I was pulling for him.
Yeah,
I wanted Dan to win.
I like him.
I was like, I just don't want Kelvin to win, because like you know better. You're a seasoned vet.
Yeah, but maybe he's playing into it because he's done it a few times now. So maybe
you're not fucking Raw Rosas Jr., mate. You're not 18 years old. Like, come on, Kelvin. Like you contended for an interim title. Like, you know what this is all about. Come on.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't do it. This can't make that weight.
Anyway, this is what it is. Yeah. But mate, what about? We're gonna move on. What about the fucking shit show UFC 303 is?
How many fights have changed? And,
what the fuck, mate? It is a shit show. So it starts obviously with Conor having a toe injury, and fucking hell hasn't he copped it off Rafael dos Anjos, and rightfully so.
Absolutely.
Rafael, what about the picture from Rafael with the fucking balloon foot? Yeah. Conor gave him so much shit for that.
Yeah.
And Conor's got a stub little toe.
I think there has to be more to it. I don't think he pulls out with a broken toe like that. Like, it's just too much money on the line. Like, I just don't think he pulls out of a fight with that. So I think there might be more to it.
Okay.
So I'm not a believer in Chael's theory of the rehab, but I'm not a believer that this just a stub toe. So
Conor, this is much more intrigue to Conor, mate. There's so much more to it, isn't there? Yeah. Like, it's not just all like, it's no black and white. It's no black and white with Conor. There's a heap of grey shit.
I think he's like at Bellator today or last night or whenever it was, he was saying that he's still in training camp. He's using it to propel himself to the fight.
Good.
But then he posts, he's at the pub drinking.
Fucking still shits me, mate.
So it's like, come on, mate, what are you doing? This is like, it is, if it's just a toe injury, that's a great opportunity to like lengthen that sobriety and make it actually mean something for a fight. Like, but straight back on the piss. Who knows? Just looking at the Google 303 like page, there's like 5 cancels. This is cancelled.
It's fucked, mate.
Yeah.
And I've been one of those people for a while now as well. Speaking of the opposite side of things with Michael Chandler, it's just been like, all right, Mike, like let's it's time to move on, because, but like, where's your pride? But at the same time, Conor came out during the week and he said that like Mike's getting paid 10 times the amount of his normal contract, so he'd have to fight like 10 times to. It just makes no sense. So that's probably why Mike's waiting around, obviously.
Yeah, that's obviously why he's waiting around, but he has to still get that fight. He has to get that one fight that pays the 10 times to do that, to be better than any other one fight. So yeah, so mate, if that fight will happen.
Mate, is there any chance that Conor doesn't fight Mike?
I don't think so. I think at this point that's the only fight that makes sense, because it's kind of like the longer it goes, it also benefits Conor. Like,
yeah,
because Mike's out and not fighting. So, like, yeah, I don't think any other fight makes sense at this point.
I agree, mate.
Especially because it was so close and it was confirmed. It was all booked. They were going for it. So if they did that to Chandler, that would be pretty brutal.
There's no way that happens because Dana came out during the week and he said that Mike is one of the best guys to deal with that he's ever dealt with in regards to, the fight game. Yeah. And he would do anything in his power to make sure that Mike gets what he wants. Yeah, and I think that's great, and I think he deserves it. And I can't believe he's going to still keep waiting, but I think it'll end up paying, and I think he gets the fight.
If it is just a toe, hopefully we do still see it this year. But
yeah,
whether it's more than that, who knows? Whether we see it,
mate. I'm just gonna move right on from the Conor McGregor game at the moment, mate, and just come back to it when it happens, but. Mate, UFC 303 though, like I want to preview it because it's happening next week, and we'll do a prediction one next week, prior to it. But I still think it's a really good card, and I'm bummed that Carlos Ulberg is been injured from his fight against Anthony Smith. Obviously, that started with Jamal Hill versus Carlos Ulberg, and then Jamal got injured, and then now Carlos Ulberg's pulled out. Now it's Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. Yeah. I was looking forward to that because obviously, the whole Oceania thing, and whenever an Australian or New Zealand guy is fighting someone well known, it's always very exciting.
Makes it interesting.
At the card from top to bottom still, I think it's still not bad. Yeah, I think it's probably like a solid 7.5 out of 10 at the moment.
Adding that Ortega Lopez fight really is like made it a nice card, because obviously Ian Gary and Michael Venom Page have been on it for a while. It's probably the only fight that hasn't had any shenanigans. So yeah, it's a solid card. That light heavyweight fight has changed 4 times. It originally started as Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree, and somehow there's now 2 completely different fighters. So yeah, it keeps changing. It's a sick co-main event. It's a sick main event. Like AP at this rate will be headlining every single pay-per-view. It would just become the AP show, Alex Ferreira show.
I don't mind it. I don't hate it.
No, neither. I think that it's a sick card. Like, I think it's disappointing that obviously that it's not Conor and Chandler, but it's still a very good card.
Mate, I just like briefly looking over it. Honestly, man, the fight I'm most looking forward to is Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez. What a fucking fight that is.
A sick fight. Yeah, it is. Because we've seen the main event before, so we kind of know what to expect for that. So and that's a sick fight. Diego Lopez is obviously, like, everyone loves him, and he's coming up, like, beating everybody. So it's a sick fight.
And you know what? On the contrary, T City, mate, he's still got things to prove. Like he beat Yair, which was a great win.
Yeah.
And he's still he's still going, all right, I'm going to prove this again just to get to the title again. And who better than to fight than somebody who is up and coming and is exciting and is current like Diego Lopez. I think it's a great matchup. I think they've really, really done well, the matchmakers here, to give this one, because I thought Brian Ortega might fight what's his name? The bald fella.
Josh Emmett.
Yeah. Yep. I thought he was going to fight Josh Emmett. I thought that might be a good matchup.
Yeah.
But I love this matchup. This is mad.
And featherweight again. Featherweight's a bit murky at the moment. Alex probably gets that, or maybe Max does. Whoever gets the title shot next. So that probably sets up a number one contender for, like, they might get a title shot after that fight, the winner of that fight. So they might, like, insert themselves into that conversation, whether it's Max, Alex, or the winner of that fight that gets a title shot.
Yeah, you're right. The featherweight division is pretty murky at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's I think both Volk and Max will probably get shots at the title before these guys do.
Yeah.
But I think a win here, I think it puts them right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that featherweight division goes however Max wants, like whatever Max wants, pretty much. If he wants a title fight, he gets the next title shot, probably over Alex. Well, Alex might still get a title shot, but might have to wait for the Max fight.
Well, Volk's talking about Dustin Poirier. So something tells me that that it will be Ilya Topuria versus Max Holloway next.
Yeah, they're probably they're probably already setting that up. Like it sounds like
right now.
It's a good fight. It makes sense. Yeah, I think the winner of this co-main event probably inserts himself into the fight, the winner of that title fight, depending on what Alex does as well, obviously. So yeah, it's a very, very murky division. I'm sure it will play out over the next 6 months.
Mate, in regards to the main event, I don't want to talk about the matchup between Alex Pereira and Yuri Prochazka. I just want to talk about AP's star power.
Yeah, I think he's probably second to none at the moment in the UFC. Like he's a superstar. He's a
superstar.
Obviously outside Conor, but yeah, like I don't know if there's anyone bigger in the UFC at the moment.
I think he's bigger than Sean O'Malley.
Yep, I agree.
I think right now he's bigger than Izzy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he's more relatable. He's more like, even though he doesn't say much, but
Sharma.
Like, yeah, people like him. Like
people love him, mate.
He's likable. Like he's not polarizing like O'Malley or Izzy. He's just he fights. He fights all the time and he wins. He wins wins good.
And do you know what, mate? I think UFC fans, they just love the blood and guts, mate. If you're getting in there fighting on the reg, you are a fucking superstar to these people. And on top of the fact that he is fighting everybody, the fact that he is like one of the best mixed martial artists probably ever.
It's crazy.
That probably elevates his stock even more.
Yeah.
The fact that he's like, fuck it, I'll just fight whoever. But on top of that, you are absolutely one of the most skilled mixed martial artists of all time. You are a double champ. It just elevates his stock, mate. He's a superstar in every sense of the word, mate.
Yeah, he could fight 4 more times by the end of the year and have that heavyweight title. Who knows? Like, he rate his fighting and the level he's on at the moment, he'll do anything for UFC. Will give him anything.
Do you know what, mate? I think there's a chance that by year's end he's fighting for the heavyweight title.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's easy. Like, that definitely could happen if he wins.
Insane.
If he wins this, like, obviously it depends what happens with the heavyweights, the interim title and undisputed title. But yeah, I don't think he waits that long because he just fights all the time anyway. So, but yeah, he could definitely be fighting for the heavyweight title at the end of the year.
And they do not want to Dana and like Hunter Campbell and Sean Shelby and all those guys. They do not want AP fighting Magomed Ankalaev.
No, they absolutely do not. I think Dana said something at the press conference today. Someone questioned him about Ankalaev, and he says if he keeps winning, he'll get a shot. He's won like 12 in a row. He's got like the longest active winning streak in like heavyweight history, and he's like, he's going to keep winning. It's unbelievable.
I think it's hilarious. He's going to get a shot at the title.
It's so bad, but yeah, it's.
Bro, the only way that Ankalaev gets a shot at the title is if somebody like Jamal Hill is champion, or
maybe Yuri
or Yuri, nobody with like that superstar status like AP, like that. You do not want Magomed Ankalaev beating Alex Pereira. It looks terrible.
It's horrible. I think that like the I don't know if Ankalaev, I think he's fought in America, but a lot of those guys have problems fighting in America, so they only get the opportunities when they go into the Middle East. So yeah, that's probably the only like thing that UFC have to use to keep Ankalaev away from it. Just don't have AP fighting on those Abu Dhabi cards,
mate. It's honestly, mate, his stock has just I can't get over it because Izzy was talking about that Alex is going to be one of those guys sitting in the bar saying, I fought that guy. Now you're like Alex has done something that you haven't done, and that's double champ.
Yeah,
he's done it, and not only that, he's fighting everybody, and fans fucking love him. He's the man, bro.
He is. He's like doing everything that Izzy wanted to do. Obviously, Izzy's still a legend. There's like no holding, no taking anything from him. But yeah. It is funny that he said that, and now Alex is probably a bigger star than him
right now. Yep.
Yeah,
and it's unbelievable considering he doesn't speak English.
He's just out here in Australia, not speaking any English, and then takes a fight on 2 weeks' notice.
animal, mate. Just like exactly like when we first started this conversation about Rob taking this fight today.
Yeah.
When he didn't have to, that elevates their stock in this game. And AP's done the exact same thing. Like he doesn't have to take that fight against Fury when he's already beat him, but he's just doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Just had this pay-per-view after pay-per-view. Like what was it? 30, it was 300, wasn't it? Yeah. He headlined 300. So
was the last one, yep.
Yeah. How good.
Mate, it's unbelievable. Mate, to finish off this podcast, I've been thinking about it, and I'll go first. Okay, give you some time.
What have you got?
This is not really down your alley, but I'm going to make you go down this alley because it'll be interesting. And I want you to think of something that it's a far-fetched prediction. One far-fetched UFC prediction that you think could happen. I'm gonna start because I think this will happen. Like this will happen.
But it's far-fetched.
It's not like it's just way down the line.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's way far away.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Tom Aspinall becomes the greatest heavyweight ever, all time.
It's a big call.
It's a big call. It is a big call, but I think he is just a new hybrid of UFC fighter, like of heavyweight, because we have not seen a heavyweight move like him. He is so fast.
Yeah, but I think the problem with that is heavyweights can't move like that for long. So he's got some roadblocks in his way at the moment, being to get to undisputed. So can he keep moving like that for the next 4 or 5 years and continue to win? I mean, he's only
young too.
Yeah, but he's already shown he's got bad knees. Like,
go Tom.
So I think that is a bit far fetched.
Love it.
It's a prediction, I guess.
He's just turned 31 years old. Man, like he is so young. I just think, mate, I just think he's a new hybrid of heavyweight. I think he is so fast. I've never seen it. Like Sergey Pavlovich is not getting put out like that against anybody.
Yeah, I think
anybody.
The best, the only like the thing he's got going for him is obviously it won't take much to beat. Like it's obviously a lot, but Stipe's record is beatable. Like, because heavyweight is so turbulent. The most defense is only 3. I think is that Stipe's record, 3 or 4. So it is doable. But yeah, so I think it's a long way down the track. He's got some roadblocks in his way at the moment with John and Stipe and doing whatever they're doing. But yeah, not sure.
I don't think he has to worry about John Jones or Stipe Miocic.
I think that's like in terms like he should already be undisputed, but he's not because of that. So it's kind of like that's kind of holding him back at the moment. Like I guess if he beats Blades, it's not a title defense. It's not an undisputed title defense. It won't go to beating Stipe's record. So
yeah, I know, but that's all right because I honestly think I think nobody beats him.
I think heavyweight is very crazy, mate. I think anything can happen. Anything,
but he's not a slugger. That's why he's so different. Like the matchup I really want to see is Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane.
Yeah, that'd be.
I would love to see it. I mean, Cyril was a deer in the headlights against John, but I want to see Cyril beat Cyril against Tom. It would be such a good fight. It'd be like a chess match.
Yeah.
And Cyril's hard to hit, man. Cyril's a motherfucker to hit.
He is. Ty got him though. So Tom,
do you want that? But you want to know something else as well? Tom's got wrestling like John as well.
Yeah.
So Tom will be able to get him. I just Tom, mate. I'm confident. There it is. Tom Aspinall in 5 years' time, greatest heavyweight of all time.
36,
the greatest.
36 years old. Like
36.
Yeah.
Because DC's regarded as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time with one win over Stipe. Knockout. He was 40 years old.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Heavyweight, it's not like it's crazy, mate. It's crazy. Anything can happen. So it's a big call, but maybe we'll see. I guess we'll see.
We will see, mate. Do you have something outlandish?
Oh,
it's hard. It's tough. It's tough for you.
It is. Let's go. I think is chance of happening.
Okay.
Islam loses his next fight.
Whoa.
Whether it's at welterweight or against Arman, I think there's a possibility.
So
it's not down the road, but it's a bit far fetched.
I saw that Islam and Arman might be booked for 306 or get it or close 306 or 307.
Yeah,
and that's the next fight. Man, fuck that's a big call
because Arman's good, man. They had a close fight. Their first fight it was a close fight. And Islam, although I think he's a better martial artist than Khabib, he's more beatable. Like, yeah,
he is, bro, for sure.
Yeah, so
for sure,
I think in his obviously in the Alex first fight, in the Dustin fight, he is very good, but I think he can be beaten.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's a great point that you just made. Like, I think the same. I think Islam is probably a more well-rounded mixed martial artist than Khabib is, but Khabib's style is more dominant, more unbeatable.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, people knew it was coming,
and you couldn't do anything.
Didn't know how to stop it.
Yeah, where with Islam, there's opportunities. Like he's Alex has given him trouble. Dustin gave him a little bit of trouble. He's been knocked out before, so there's always opportunities with Islam, I think. So mine is, I know it's far fetched, but Islam loses his next fight.
I'm excited because if 306 rolls around 307 and it's Arman versus Islam for the title, I want to hear you say it. Arman Sakarian. I don't like
Arman, but I like Israel, but yeah. That's
so if Islam fights, so if Islam were to fight either Leon Edwards or Bilal Muhammad, you don't like his chances.
Ooh, maybe Bilal. I think if that fight gets booked, I think Islam knows something because he's obviously trained. Like, Bilal's been training with that team quite a bit, so Islam wouldn't take that fight if he didn't know he could win it. So, see, now you get me questioning my own far-fetched idea. That's why it's far-fetched, I guess.
But you know what? That's a great one because now he's pound for pound number one. He looks unbeatable. He keeps going from strength to strength. He's showing different sides to him. He showed that he's a dog against Dustin.
You asked for far-fetched, so I went far-fetched.
There you go. Mate, but isn't Islam really showed he's a dog?
Yeah, he's got it in him.
I think it's pretty far-fetched, but I like it, mate. I really like it. But there you have it. Tom Aspinall, greatest heavyweight in the history of the world. Islam Makhachev guaranteed to lose his next fight. There it is. You heard it first on the Two Casual MMA podcast. Another episode for the books, mate. We'll come back next week for predictions, UFC 303, some little juicy predictions, hopefully during the week.
Yeah.
You know, a dolly gets thrown through a bus or something to make us talk a little bit more about some different things. But that'll be good.
Yeah. Let's get AP just goes absolutely wild.
Just goes nuts. That'd be great. All right, mate. Well, we'll see you next week. Pleasure as always. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. Train keeps rolling. You know the drill. See you next week for some UFC 303 predictions.
Thank you.
See you guys.